A Democratic congressman just turned a House hearing into performance art. And honestly, it's the most entertaining thing to come out of Congress in months. Representative Jared Moskowitz brought receipts, video clips, and a $9 Amazon doll to publicly beg Donald Trump to remember who he used to be. And the target? Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who even Republicans won't defend anymore. This is wild. Let's get into it.
Sexualized AI images generated by Grok, January 26, New York Times. Grok, Elon Musk's AI, is generating sexualized images of real people, fueling outrage, January 8, 2026.
Objection. Gentleman, the floor is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Man, if you want to know how things are going on in America, I mean, just look at my colleagues. I mean, they want to talk about Europe because things are going so well here. You know, Mr. Chairman, Secretary Noem is scheduled to appear here in a month, and I'm going to say something that might surprise you. I don't think she should come. You know why I don't think she should come? Because I think she should be fired before that. She shouldn't be here. So if you want to invite her as a private citizen, no problem. You know, Leader Thune was asked, does he have confidence in her? He said, that's up to the president. Josh Hawley was asked, would he vote for her again? He says, thank God he doesn't have to. That's real vote of confidence there. Senator Kennedy wants Tom Homan to run the show. By the way, he now is. Senator Tillis wants her fired. Senator Murkowski wants her fired. Congresswoman Malliotakis says all options should be on the table with who should run the agency. Not a single Republican House member or senator is running to the television to defend Noem. And by the way, President Trump, wasn't lost on me, skipped her in his cabinet meeting just a couple days ago. She was the only secretary he didn't allow to talk. It's time to fire her. Why hasn't it happened? I know what I need to do. I need to remind the president who he used to be. I want to take you down memory lane. You know what we need? We need Apprentice Trump. Where is that guy? Look, let me remind him who he used to be real quick.
You're fired. 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 You're all fired. All four are fired.
Where is that guy? What happened to him? I mean, Mr. President, you had one of the most popular TV shows, right? People would tune in weekly. You would fire the weakest link of your team. People loved it when you fired people, Mr. President. Sitting in the boardroom, Eric on one side, Junior on the left. It was much-watched TV. You made millions of dollars firing people for a living. But now someone convinced you firing people is weakness. That's why ratings are down, Mr. President. It would be much-watched TV. Think about it, Mr. President. Tens of millions of people will tune in. You bring Kristi Noem into your little conference room. You have a cabinet meeting, right? And you fire her right there on TV. Oh, the ratings would be through the roof. Think about the hat she would wear. I mean, it'll be majestic, okay? Let me show you, Mr. President, what that might look like.
I put you over here to help this team, and you didn't help the team.
Well, I tried the best I can.
I know you did, but you didn't help the team.
I can't be completely responsible for repeating.
I put you over here to help.
Probably made in China. You take the doll out, and look, it's got, very nicely done, by the way. If any of my Republican friends want to spend time with it later, I'll loan it to them. Look, so here's the doll. It says to fire people in 17 different ways. You go to the back, you push it. Batteries are a little old. Let's see if I can find the little button. Well, anyway, it says you're fired. 17 different ways, Mr. President, okay? So I don't understand what the problem is. I don't get it. For years, you fired people. It was strength. Now you think that's weakness. I mean, if we can't get Apprentice Trump, can we at least get like Home Alone 2 Trump? Can he at least like show her the lobby and out the door? She's coming here in a month, okay? It's not gonna be a good hearing for her. It's gonna be a disaster. You all are gonna have to defend her, which you're not willing to do on TV. This will be very televised. I mean, why did the president not let her speak in the cabinet meeting? Why didn't she get to talk, right? Why is Tom Homan now running the department? Why is Roger Stone taking shots at her? It's time for her to be fired. She is the weakest link of his team, and it's enough. And again, I got plenty of material, as you see, Mr. President, to remind you how to do it. Just go back, go on your reruns, go find some old episodes for some inspiration. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. I will recognize myself. Real quickly, just on a lighter note, Mr. Price, do you think that the congressman might have been censored in what he said and what he did if it was up to the EU?
Yes, sir. Under German legislation, he's engaged in criminal insult to a politician.
Is that what happened to Jimmy Kimmel?
And in a...
My time,
moreover, he might well have been violating electoral disinformation, which would mean that the EU's watchdog on electoral disinformation would be following. Luckily, he's in Florida, of course, and he can invoke the First Amendment.
Because we still
It
have...
doesn't look like this isn't disinformation. They made a doll.
I remind the gentleman from Florida, this is not his time, that he had his time. I thank the gentleman. I don't know where to begin, but let me begin by how do I say this? I really want to try to be a little friendlier to the other side here, but it's always politics, 24/7. The damn hearing isn't about politics. Quite frankly, it isn't about Minnesota particularly. It isn't about that issue. Is that issue worthy of discussion? Absolutely. But the issue here was the threat to America's freedom by foreign countries. Now, just in case anybody needs a reminder, I don't think we do. We got a real lot of smart people in this room. American men and women died so that we have that freedom of speech. American men and women were willing to give up everything so we have that freedom. This is a big deal. And it's always the politics of the day on the other side. It's always whatever's the hot issue, but nothing to do with what the hearing is about. And the hearing is important because we really could lose our freedoms. We have other countries controlling the hard-fought freedoms of the United States of America. It's terrible. It's awful. And that's why we're having this hearing. And I thank you all for being here. Mr. Mayall, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but you're from the ACLU. You're a really smart guy. You know your stuff, right? You're pretty smart. I mean, if I ask you a question, they wanted you to talk about Minnesota because God forbid we talk about the real issue. But you should be able to answer issues of the loss of freedom, whether you're liberal, conservative, Republican, or Democrat, socialist, progressive. I don't care what you are. You should have that right to speak about what you believe. If you're a Christian, you should be able to have that right. If you're Islamic, you should be able to have that right. That's what this hearing's about. And most of all, Mr. Mayall, the hearing is about whether you are an American and you have that right. It's not just, we didn't need another politician here talking about politics. We need somebody that's going to tell us what that freedom really means and what the First Amendment really means. Mr. Price, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I just need yeses or nos because I want to not run out of time. Yes or no? Major social media platforms generally apply one global set of content moderation rules worldwide. We're part of globalism now. We're all the same. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because platforms rely on global rules, global, not American rules. Forgive me, I know some of us aren't American, but I want to talk about America. Global rules, changes to those rules affect users or people that cherish freedom in America. It affects us, yes or no?
Yes, it does.
Under the Digital Services Act, platforms can be fined up to 6% of their global revenue for non-compliance. Yes or no?
Global turnover, yes, sir.
That's a real effective way to stop freedom and freedom of speech. That's what we're supposed to be talking about today. Not all this other stuff. We can have a hearing. We are going to have Kristi Noem. We are going to have the Attorney General. We are going to have other hearings. We may have a hearing on Minnesota. And we'll talk about those issues then. But let's talk about this big, bad issue that threatens the very foundation of America and American freedom, for God's sake. Yes or no? Are the threats of fines that large designed to pressure platforms to over-censor speech to avoid getting punished in that way?
Yes, sir, they have that effect.
Yes or no? When Americans are censored because of foreign government pressure, they have no ability Talk about taxation without representation. This is worse. You lose your freedom of speech, and you have no ability to get those people out of office. They're in another country. They're not liable to you at all, but you have to acquiesce to them. Yes or no?
Yes, we can't get them out of office either.
I know, it's scary. If Americans are losing their speech rights because of laws written overseas, then this is not just a tech issue. This is not some boring issue that people want to put in a closet somewhere where people yawn and forget about it. There's freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the way to raise your family the way you want to, all the freedoms that we cherish in America. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is it a direct attack on American sovereignty, and shouldn't we do everything we can to stop it?
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big deal. I'm sorry for what you went through. God knows, I mean, to believe, it doesn't matter if they agree with your faith. It's your faith, and it's your right to represent that faith, and you shouldn't go to jail, and you shouldn't be fined, and you shouldn't be embarrassed, and you shouldn't be censored. Damn it, we're sick of it. And so instead of talking about that, which is an area we should all agree on, Republican and Democrat, what do? We avoid it and we go to the political issues of the day. Every hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I
we go
think
to the
that the
political
gentleman's
issues of the
time has
day.
expired by 49 seconds.
Okay, where do we even start with this? Moskowitz opens with something everyone's thinking. Secretary Noem is scheduled to appear here in a month, and I'm going to say something that might surprise you. I don't think she should come, because I think she should be fired before that. Brutal. But here's the thing. He's not wrong. Senator Thune was asked if he has confidence in Noem. His answer? That's up to the president. Real vote of confidence there. Josh Hawley was asked if he'd vote for her again. His response? Thank God I don't have to. Senator Kennedy wants Tom Homan running the show instead. By the way, Homan now basically is running the show. Senator Tillis wants her fired. Senator Murkowski wants her fired. Congresswoman Malliotakis says all options should be on the table. Not a single Republican House member or senator is running to television to defend Kristi Noem. That tells you everything. And then Moskowitz drops this gem. President Trump wasn't lost on me. He skipped her in his cabinet meeting just a couple days ago. She was the only secretary he didn't allow to talk. The only one. Out of the entire cabinet, Noem got the silent treatment from her own boss. So what does Moskowitz do? He decides to remind Trump who he used to be. And this is where it gets absolutely hilarious. He plays a supercut. Just Trump firing people on The Apprentice. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Over and over. It's glorious. Where is that guy? Moskowitz asks. What happened to him? And he's got a point. Trump built an entire television empire on firing the weakest link. People tuned in weekly just to watch him sit in that boardroom with Eric on one side, Don Jr. on the other, and axe whoever screwed up. He made millions of dollars firing people for a living. But now? Someone convinced you firing people is weakness, Moskowitz says. That's why ratings are down, Mr. President. And then, and this is the best part, Moskowitz acts out what it would look like if Trump actually fired Noem. He does a whole boardroom role play, imitates Trump's voice. Kristi, you're fired. The chairman is trying not to laugh. The room is losing it. But Moskowitz isn't done. He pulls out a $9 Amazon doll, a literal Donald Trump action figure that says, "You're fired 17 different ways." Obviously, it's doing very well. He deadpans while fiddling with it. Probably made in China. He tries to get it to work. The batteries are dead. Anyway, it says you're fired 17 different ways, Mr. President. This man came prepared with props, and the props failed him, and he just kept going. Here's his thesis. For years, Trump fired people on TV. It was strength. It was entertainment. It was must-watch television. Now he thinks firing people is weakness? I don't get it, Moskowitz says. If we can't get Apprentice Trump, can we at least get Home Alone 2 Trump? Can he at least show her the lobby and out the door? And then he lays out why this matters beyond the comedy. Noem is coming to testify in a month. It's not going to be a good hearing for her. It's going to be a disaster. Republicans are going to have to defend her on live television, and they're already refusing to do it off camera. Why didn't the president let her speak in the cabinet meeting? Why is Tom Homan now running the department? Why is Roger Stone taking shots at her? These are real questions with obvious answers. She's incompetent, she's overwhelmed, she's in over her head. Under her watch, ICE and Border Patrol have descended on American cities, shot and killed 2 American citizens, violated court orders more in 1 month than some agencies do in their entire existence. Minnesota is under what feels like martial law. Families are terrified to leave their homes. Schools closed because federal agents pepper sprayed protesters in the street. And Kristi Noem has done nothing to rein it in, nothing to remind agents that the Constitution still applies, nothing to hold anyone accountable. She's the weakest link on Trump's team. Everyone knows it. Even Trump knows it. That's why he wouldn't let her talk at the cabinet meeting. But here's the problem. Trump apparently forgot how to do what made him famous. Moskowitz wraps it up perfectly. Mr. President, I got plenty of material to remind you how to do it. Just go back, go on your reruns, find some old episodes for inspiration. And honestly, he's right. Trump spent a decade being celebrated for cutting dead weight. Now he's keeping someone in charge of Homeland Security who can't secure anything, who Republicans won't defend, and who's presiding over a constitutional disaster. Fire her. Do it on camera. Get the ratings. Move on. But instead, we're sitting here a month out from what's guaranteed to be a train wreck of a hearing, where Republicans will squirm in their seats while Noem tries to explain why American citizens are being executed in the streets by agents under her command. It's absurd, it's embarrassing, and Moskowitz just said out loud what everyone's thinking, like subscribe and share, because you won't get this story everywhere.